Hello everybody, it is May 9th, 2020, and this is Jet 888, and I'm just running through some stuff that I want to discuss real quick. Anyhow, my first thing I want to go over is what is a patent. I know most of us here know this, but one of the things I was interested in is whenever I see these Google patents and such, they're so far out there. Sometimes I wonder if they're legit, they're real, or they just created. But what I've learned is there's different types of patents, and it says for an invention to qualify for a patent, it must be both novel and non-obvious. And this down here, I'm scrolling, it says a patent cannot be obtained for a mere idea or suggestion. The inventor must have figured out a concrete means of implementing his or her ideas in order to get a patent. So just to let you know that the patents I have been looking at have actually, they're not just something people have dreamed up, but we're going to pause this for a sec. I'm going to go to the next scene. Okay, so I'm seeing here now where I'm at the Google patents, and this is the nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors. Now, this scene here, this patent we're going to look at, and hopefully the type is big enough for you all. I hope you can see it. The inventor's name is Hendrikus G. Luce, and but there's another name that I've kind of followed with him, so but I'll discuss that later. But this is, for right now, this is the name he's going under, and this is patent number, it's US 6506148B2. I guess it was in 2001. 2021 is when it's anticipated to expire. So anyhow, this talks about this is the abstract. Physiological effects have been observed in a human subject in response to stimulation of the skin with weak electromagnetic fields that are pulsed with certain frequencies near 1/2 Hz or 2.4 Hz, such as to excite a sensory resonance. Many computer monitors and TV tubes, when displayed pulsed images, emit pulsed electromagnetic fields of sufficient amplitudes to cause such excitation. It is therefore possible to manipulate the nervous system of a subject by pulsing images displayed on a nearby computer monitor or TV set. For the latter, the image pulsing may be embedded in the program material, or it may be overlaid by modulating a video stream, either as an RF signal, radio frequency, I think that is, RF signal, or as a video signal. The image displayed on a computer monitor may be pulsed effectively by a simple computer program. For certain monitors, pulsed electromagnetic fields capable of exciting sensory resonances in nearby subjects may be generated even as the displayed images are pulsed with subliminal intensity. So we go to these pictures here. Here's this terrible drawing of some lady with one eye looking at her TV monitor. So this application was granted 2003, so January 14th, 2003. Let's go look at these other pictures. They're not exciting. So, whoops. Okay. So that talks about the subliminal electromagnetic fields that can be pulsed through your TV monitor. subliminal. You won't know that it's doing that. Okay, so this says the claim 1 is a method for manipulating the nervous system of a subject located near a monitor, the monitor emitting an electromagnetic field when displayed by image when displaying an image by virtue of the physical display process, the subject having a sensory resonance frequency, the method comprising creating a video signal for displaying an image on the monitor, the image having an intensity, modulating the video signal for pulsing the image intensity with a frequency of the range of 0.1 Hz to 15 Hz, and setting the pulse frequency to the resonance frequency. Okay, I've scrolled down. I'm at number 6 here. It says hardware means for manipulating the nervous system of a subject located near a monitor, the monitor being responsive to a video stream and emitting an electromagnetic field when displaying an image by virtue of the physical display process. The image having an intensity, the subject having cutaneous nerves that fire spontaneously and have spiking patterns. The hardware means comprising pulse generator for generating voltage pulses. So it talks about responsive to the voltage pulses for modulating the video stream to pulse the image intensity, whereby the emitted electromagnetic field is pulsed. The cutaneous nerves are exposed to the pulsed electromagnetic field, and the spiking patterns of the nerves acquire a frequency modulation. So let's go down here. Let's see. So we're down at description, background of the invention. The invention relates to the stimulation of the human nervous system by an electromagnetic field applied externally to the body. A neurological effect of external electrical fields has been mentioned by Wiener, 1958, in a discussion of the bunching of brain waves through nonlinear interactions. The electric field was arranged to provide a direct electrical driving of the brain. He describes the field as set up by a 10 Hz alternating voltage of 400 volts applied in a room between ceiling and ground. Brennan, 1992, describes the U.S. patent number 5169380, an apparatus for alleviating disruptions in circadian rhythms of a mammal, in which an alternating electric field is applied across the head of the subject by two electrodes placed a short distance from the skin. So they were using electrodes, whereas this specific patent you just have to sit in front of a monitor. Okay, scroll down here just to read this. Let's see, they're talking about the effect called chemical detuning can be so strong that ptosis is lost altogether when the stimulation frequency is kept constant in the initial stages of excitation. That ptosis or I guess it's ptosis, that's when the eyelids droop. So this causes the ptosis frequency to shift back up so that the stimulation is more in tune with the ptosis, and the ptosis can develop again. As a result, for fixed stimulation frequencies in a certain range, the ptosis slowly cycles with a frequency of several minutes. The matter is discussed in, I guess they have a 302 patent. The stimulation frequencies at which specific physiological effects can occur depend somewhat on the autonomic nervous system state and probably on the endocrine state as well. So like if we're stressed, I'm sure the endocrine state changes. Okay, I'm down here. This is weak magnetic fields that are pulsed with a sensory resonance frequency can induce the same physiological effects as pulsed electric fields. Unlike the latter, however, the magnetic fields penetrate biological tissue with nearly undiminished strength. Eddy currents in the tissue drive electric charges to the skin, where the charge distributions are subject to thermal smearing in much the same way as an electric field stimulation, so that the same physiological effects develop. So, summary. Computer monitors and TV monitors can be made to emit weak, low-frequency electromagnetic fields merely by pulsing the intensity of displayed images. Okay, so experiments have been shown that half-hertz sensory resonance can be excited in this manner in a subject near the monitor. Excuse me. So, hence, a TV monitor or computer monitor can be used to manipulate the nervous system of nearby people. So basically anyone watching TV, right? Okay, I just stop and start sometimes so I can scroll down, but what I did see is for a computer monitor, the image pulses. Oh, sorry, let me go back up here. The implementations of the Invention are adapted to the source of video stream that drives the monitor, be it a computer program, a TV broadcast, a videotape, or a digital video disc, DVD. For a computer monitor, the image pulses can be produced by a suitable computer program. The pulse frequency may be controlled through keyboard input so that the subject can tune to an individual sensory resonance frequency. The pulse amplitude can be controlled as well as in this manner. A program written in Visual Basic, that's R, is particularly suitable for use in computers that run the Windows 95 or Windows 98 operating system. I wonder, do we know someone, you guys, who deals with Windows, or what's that name? Door, fence, window, what is that? Windows. Could it be gates? The structure of such a program is described. Production of periodic pulses requires an accurate timing procedure. Such a procedure is constructed from the get time count function available on the application program interface API of the Windows operating system, together with an extrapolation procedure that improves the timing accuracy. So Windows 98 or Windows 95, a program written in Visual Basic is particularly suitable for use in computers that run. Well, that's interesting. Wow. Okay, so let's see. This says the program that causes a monitor to display a pulsing image may be run on a remote computer that is connected to the user computer by a link. The latter may partly belong to a network, which may be the internet. So if you open a link and you watch something and it's attached to some other remote computer that wants to send you these interesting frequencies, to have some mind manipulation, I guess you're going to be the victim of that. This is for a TV monitor. Let me scroll up. For a TV monitor, the image pulsing may be inherent in the video stream as it flows from the video source, or else the stream may be modulated such as to overlay the pulsing. In the first case, a live TV broadcast can be arranged to have the feature embedded simply by slightly pulsing the illumination of the scene that is being broadcast. This method can, of course, also be used in making movies and recording videotapes. Making movies. Who else do we know that makes movies? So, videotapes can be edited to overlay pulsing by means of modulating hardware. I'm scrolling down. And this says, before entering the TV set, a television signal can be modulated such as to cause pulsing of the image intensity by means of a variable delay line that is connected to a pulse generator. Certain monitors can emit electromagnetic field pulses that excite a sensory resonance in a nearby subject through image pulses that are so weak as to be subliminal. This is unfortunate since it opens a way for mischievous application of the invention whereby people are exposed unknowingly to manipulation of their nervous systems for someone else's purpose. Such application would be unethical and is of course not advocated, but it can happen. It is mentioned here in order to alert the public to the possibility of covert abuse that may occur while being online or while watching TV, a video, or a DVD. And what's super interesting is, everyone who's locked in their houses recently, I'm sure there's a lot more TV watching and video watching than most people have done. I mean, if you're just going to be sitting around your house, you don't have anything to do. Well, I've got lots of things to do. I'm sure you guys have lots of things to do, but my goodness. Should I read that again? So the maker of this patent, the creator of this patent, says this is unfortunate, and he's talking about the certain monitors can emit electromagnetic field pulses that excite a sensory resonance in a nearby subject through image pulses that are so weak as to be subliminal. This is unfortunate since it opens a way for mischievous application of the invention whereby people are exposed unknowingly to manipulation of their nervous systems for someone else's purpose. But inventions that are meant for good have never ever been used for bad, right? So of course no one's going to do anything unethical. Wow. So he's trying to alert the public. So here, let's see, in number 4, it says, figure 4 illustrates how a pulsed electromagnetic field can be generated with a computer monitor. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's where I am right now. Well, anyone who knows what this, whoops, sorry. Let's see here if we can make this a little bit bigger. I don't really know how to, sorry you guys, I'm trying to extrapolation procedure. This is weird because before I could kind of move this figure around, but now I can't. But anyhow, he just shows his little pictures. Wow. Okay, so I scrolled down just a little bit, and this talks about 1/2 Hertz sensory resonance experiments have been conducted with the subject positioned at least at normal viewing distance from a 15-inch computer monitor. Imagine what they have now with those big screens. The 15-inch computer monitor that was driven by a computer program written in Visual Basic. And so there's your Windows thing again, I guess. So I'm scrolling down. Other experiments have shown that the 2.4 Hz sensory resonance can be excited as well by screen emissions from monitors that display pulsed images. Okay, and then here's these results confirm, because I skipped a lot of this like the magnetic frequencies and all this, but these results confirm that indeed the nervous system of a subject can be manipulated through electromagnetic field pulses emitted by a nearby CRT or LCD monitor, which displays images with pulsed intensity. Okay. Scrolling down again, so the various implementations of the invention are adapted to the different sources of video stream, such as videotape, DVD, a computer program, or a TV broadcast through free space or cable. In all of these implementations, the subject is exposed to the pulsed electromagnetic field that is generated by the monitor as the result of image intensity pulsing. Certain cutaneous nerves of the subject exhibit spontaneous spiking in patterns which, although rather random, contain sensory information, at least in the form of average frequency. Some of these nerves have receptors that respond to the field stimulation by changing their average spiking frequency, so that the spiking patterns of these nerves acquire a frequency modulation which is conveyed to the brain. The modulation can be particularly effective if it has a frequency at or near a sensory resonance frequency. Such frequencies are expected to lie in the range of 0.1 to 15 Hertz. Okay, so I've scrolled down a little bit more. You guys, I'm going to leave all these links to all these patents. I've got a couple others I want to share with you. But anyhow, let's let me go over here. I'm going to share one more with you, one more patent, and then some more information on this inventor. Okay, I'm scrolling down here and reading just a little bit more. In this, they did an experiment, and it states starting 8 minutes into the experiment run, it is concluded that the half-hertz sensory resonance was excited and that the stimulating field was close to the weakest field capable of excitation. Electric field pulse amplitude at the center of the mass of the subject was found to be 7.9, is that millivolts per meter, I think? That an electric field with such a small pulse amplitude applied to the whole body is capable of exciting the half-hertz sensory resonance is consistent with experimental results reported in the 874 patent, although these were obtained for the 2.4 Hertz resonance. So then they talk about more produced electrical field. Let's see. It says at more than 11 feet, this is rather large distance for viewing a 30-inch TV, yet the experiment and theory discussed shows that the half-hertz sensory resonance can be excited at this large distance by pulsing the image intensity subliminally. Of course, excitation occurs as well for a range of smaller viewing distances. It is thus apparent that the human nervous system can be manipulated by screen emissions from subliminal TV image pulses. Then it states Windows 95, Windows 98, and Visual Basic are registered trademarks of Microsoft Corporation. The invention is not limited by the embodiments shown in the drawings and described in the specifications, which are given by way of example and not limitation, but only in accordance with the scope of the appended claims. So they can they can go do more things. They can expand on their little experiments. Oh my goodness. So, look at all these little things I have. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling way down, but electric fringe field generator for manipulating nervous systems. There's that loose Hendrix. He is again. Subliminal acoustic manipulation of nervous systems. So acoustic, that's sound. So sound waves can manipulate the nervous system. Magnetic excitation of sensory resonance. Isn't that interesting? All kinds of stuff. So who is this Luce Hendricus? It's kind of a weird name, huh? Let's go look to see who he is, who he really is. Okay, so I just went and searched a little bit. I'll do deeper searches, but this is look at, he's got the patent right here that we just looked at, the US 6091994. And this person, Tapan Mukherjee, former finance professional turned elitist. Oh no, I'm sorry, turned a realist. Oh gosh. Why does that have a date of 1990 to 2018? Anyhow, this states, let's read it. Let's see what this says. The name Hendrikus G. Luce does not belong to a person. It's a fictitious name. Perhaps the person working behind this name is Professor Ross Adey, A-D-E-Y, Ross Adey, who qualified in medicine from Australia, then came to Oxford University to study brain physiology. Then he joined University of California in 1954, later joined the Brain Research Institute in 1961. He mainly studied the effects of ELF and microwaves on human brain and nervous system. Okay, so he developed several devices for remote mind control and manipulation of nervous system, which were later patented in U.S. There could be a few other such professionals and scientists who developed the mind control devices under a single fictitious name, Dr. Hendrikus G. Luce. I hope that's how you say that, L-O-O-S. Actually working for DARPA or CIA so as not to attract the attention of the media or investigators. As per available records, Dr. Hendrikus Luce, fictitious, was associated with Plasmodine Corporation during the late 50s. He published an article about Yang Mills Field in 1969 in American Physical Society Journal. He had set up a shop in Fallbrook, California, and developed Laguna Research Laboratory. That's interesting because Laguna is up in the Irvine, kind of on the west coast in California, in Irvine, and that's just a little bit northwest of Fallbrook. So then he worked with the Department of Defense, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, that's other known as DARPA, where he spent most of his time. In 2003, he became the president of Q-Wave Corporation. Dr. Luce filed for business license entity number C2396570. The company's own site, www.qwave.com, is nothing more than a copy of site for advertising businesses. Any search for business yields nothing more than directory listings. The listings themselves provide little additional data other than business is listed for commercial physical research and has a standard industrial classification, that's SAC 6, with code of 873110. This classifies them for commercial, physical, and biological research. He is also referred to as Dr. Henry Luce or Dr. Hank Luce since 1978. He has been awarded 11 patents by U.S. for devices mainly aiming for human nervous system manipulation. Some examples are, and it gives a whole list of all these numbers, but I won't read off the numbers, but I will leave the link here. But apparatus and method for generating and containing plasma having ultra high temperatures. There's another USP patent, and that's a US patent. An optical instrument for measurement of particle size distribution. I wonder if that has anything to do with nanotechnology. US patent. This is a 6238333. Remote magnetic manipulation of nervous system. US patent 6091994. Pulsative manipulation of nervous systems. Then you have a method and apparatus for manipulating nervous systems. Why, they sure like to manipulate our nervous systems, don't you guys? Subliminal acoustic manipulation of nervous system, and nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitor. All devices are used for mind control projects run by CIA or other intelligence agencies. A group of researchers under the name Dr. H. Luce, or actually a group of hired professionals for researching and inventing such devices which could be developed and used for mass mind control, psyops, behavior modification, later by CIA. That's interesting. So I'm going to go, this is what actually started my wanting to even do a video. Let's see if I can get this going. There you go. So this is an older patent, 2006 it says, but it's a wagering game machine with biofeedback aware game presentation. And I just wanted to, as I dug deeper into this, it starts out with showing about how the gaming module, video games or arcades, can be used, and they have a mood enhancement module. But what it also does is it can take your biometric. Let me just read it to you. A computerized wagering game system includes a gaming module comprising gaming code which is operable when executed on to conduct a wagering game on which monetary value can be wagered. They use that word wager a lot. And a biofeedback module operable to track at least one biometric characteristic of a game player. So this talks about, let's see here. I don't know if this will come in clearly for you all. Hopefully it will. So detect wagering game player characteristics via biofeedback. Load player historical data if available. They can get that off of a credit card, it's stated. And also, well, now I'm looking at it and it's like a handheld device. So our cell phones, all this can happen on a cell phone. Provide sub 1 Hz electromagnetic energy to player's central nervous system. Provide energy at selected frequencies via speakers, so they can use voice recognition, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of fun stuff. Anyhow, up here too is James E. Sutton, Samuel Leopold, and Gene Rigsby. The current assignee is SG Gaming Incorporated, and I think that they're in Nevada. Application filed by Bali Gaming Incorporated. This is, oh my gosh, when I looked all at this though, the one requirement is it has to be stimulating for the person. Okay, so this talks about, you know, all those gaming things in the casinos, and then they've upgraded it too, so it can just be a handheld device. Later on down below we'll see that, but this talks about detecting by at least one or more electronic input devices of an electronic gaming machine a physical item associated with monetary value, a monetary value establishing a credit balance that changes based on play of the wagering game. So even games like Pokemon Go and stuff, where you buy your, is it called a trinket? No, it's not a trinket. What is it? I can't remember what it's called now, but um, you can play it for free, but you end up buying, oh, I guess they're tokens. So this says receiving, let's see, buy at least one or more electronic input devices of the electronic gaming machine. The wager input being covered. Okay, let's see. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Okay, so I scrolled just a little bit more, but this says collecting via one or more biometric sensors operatively coupled to an electronic game machine, biofeedback data to determine a physiological state of the player during play of the wagering game. And this talks about, so it loads the baseline of biometric history of the player from stored historical data. Did I read you guys the, this is the U.S. patent. Gosh, did I not read it to you yet? It's U.S. 9330523B2 is the patent. So it has stored historical data providing by one or more electronic output device of electronic gaming machine, and selected frequency of energy to the player during play of the wagering game based on loaded baseline biometric history. Okay, so it collected biofeedback data to determine a new physiological state of the player, adjusting the frequency of energy based on the evaluation. So they look at either, oh, here it is right here, number 2. It says the method of claim wherein evaluating the collected biofeedback data to determine the physiological state of the player comprises evaluating player body temperature, player blood pressure, player pupil dilation, player blood flow, or player pulse rate, or any combination thereof mentioned by the one or more biometric sensors. And just to kind of break the flow here, you know, with that new HR 6666 bill coming out where they can bring their mobile devices to your home to test you. So let's just say anyone's on their phone, on their computer, doing whatever, and for some reason their temperature is increased or their heart rate's increased, or one of the biometric feedback can be relayed back to someone where I'll show you down later on too. It mentions the flu. This can tell if you have the flu. So that's just where I'm going with all this is all this biometric feedback when we play on our video games, when we play on the computers, any handheld device, it gives biofeedback. So that's, in the long run, that's where we're going. I didn't mean to drag you guys out so long, but this says too, the method of claim 1, wherein the selected frequency of energy comprises a selected frequency of sound energy provided by a speaker of the electronic gaming machine to supplement the vocal frequency. So it can grab your voice. Okay. Let's see. It's always bringing up stored historical data to create a baseline via network connection to the gaming system. Let's see. 7 here. So under number 7 of this patent, it talks about receive biofeedback data collected by at least one or more of the biometric sensors of electronic gaming. Now, have you guys ever gone into your phone and look at all the apps and stuff? There's lots of apps that I haven't ever downloaded, but it talks about medical stuff, and it literally states it's got your heart rate feedback, and it gives you feedback. It can tell you how far you've gone, what's your heart rate, and I've never even consented to that. So how many of you have ever sat down in front of some video game console or your home computer and have actually consented to the collection of all the biofeedback? I mean, do you guys even know? Are you guys even aware that your pupil dilation is being monitored, your heart rate, respiratory, your heart, blood pressure? Um, Anyhow, they're keeping stored historical data on us. Wow, so we're going to scroll down a little bit more here. Okay, so it goes 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know why these are shadowed. They're shadowed lighter, but this says number 12. It says the wagering game system of claim 8, so up ahead. So it talks about to determine the new physiological state of the user. Our combination thereof, it says, again, and I've said this, it collects the biofeedback data to determine the user's physiological state, comprises evaluating user body temperature, user blood pressure, user pupil dilation, user blood flow, user pulse rate, or any combination thereof measured by the one or more biometric sensors. So I'm going back down to number 12 here. And it talks about the wager game system of claim 8, wherein the energy is provided to maintain a level of 1,000 to 5,000 ions per cubic centimeter in the vicinity of the user, including at least the user's head. Huh. So they get a collected, wow, maintain a level of 1,000 to 5,000 ions per cubic centimeter in the vicinity of the user, including at least the user's head. So I'm going to scroll down here. We're at 13. It talks about, let's see, connecting with response to the input from the player. Let's keep scrolling down. I'm going to keep scrolling here. So I scroll down, so we're past the description, related applications. It gives all these other provisional applications. Field of the invention. The invention relates generally to computerized wagering game machines, and it says generally to computerized wagering game machines, and more specifically to a wagering game machine utilizing biofeedback in varying gameplay. So, limited copyright waiver. So this, we're going to the background. It says computerized wagering games have largely replaced traditional mechanical wagering game machines such as slot machines, and are rapidly being adopted to implement computerized versions of games that are traditionally played. Now remember how old this is. So computers that are traditionally played live, such as poker and blackjack. These computerized games provide many benefits to the game owner and to the gambler, including greater reliability that can be achieved with a mechanical game or human dealer, more variety, sound and animation and presentation of a game, and a lower overall cost production and management. Let's see. Let's see, I lost where I was going to take you. Okay, so it talks about the presentation of a wagering game is therefore often a significant factor in attracting a wagering game player to one machine. Okay, sorry, I thought I was buffering there. Significant factor in attracting a wagering game player to one machine rather than another, and is a key element in the desirability and profitability of a particular wagering game design. Let's see. So it says too that these games are tailored to make sure that the player is entertained throughout the gaming experience. That's one of their main things. They have to entertain you in order for them to be getting their feedback. Let's see, so it talks about they don't want the people to be bored. Summary. So one example embodiment of the invention comprises a computerized wagering game system, including a gaming module comprising gaming code. Okay, let's keep going. And a biofeedback module operable to track at least one biometric characteristic of a game player. The wagering game is further operable to alter presentation of the wagering game based on changes in at least one biometric characteristic. So they always kind of want the visuals and stuff to be changed. It also says that it'll go with, if the person looks like they're overstimulated, then they'll kind of back off on the stuff that's going on in the game. I'm going to go down to the detailed description. Let me scroll down here. Okay, so in this detailed description, it talks about in the following detailed description of example embodiments of the invention, references made to specific examples by way of drawings and illustrations. These examples are described in sufficient detail to enable those skilled in the art to practice the invention and serve to illustrate how the invention may be applied to various purposes or embodiments. Other embodiments of the invention exist and are within the scope of the invention, and logical, mechanical, electrical, and other changes may be made without departing from the subject or scope of the present invention. It says too, so the example, the embodiments in which they are incorporated do not limit the invention as a whole, and any reference to the invention, its elements, operation, and application do not limit the invention, but only to define these examples. They're just examples of how they can grab the biofeedback from us. So the following detailed description does not therefore limit the scope of the invention, which is defined only by the appended claim. So down below it says, in another example, embodiment and biofeedback module comprises a mood enhancement module that is operable to provide energy to a wagering game player at a frequency designed to provide a mood enhancing effect. Let's see, the energy is provided in various embodiments through various transducers. Is that transducers? Or other devices. Examples of such including an acoustic transducer, an electromagnetic antenna that would could be your cell phone, because that chip can act as an antenna, and a video display, and an air ionizer. Okay, so then down a little bit more it says it's talking about the wagering game is encrypted or verified using a hash algorithm or encryption algorithm to ensure its authenticity and to verify it's not been altered. For example, in one embodiment, the wagering game software is loaded from non-volatile memory in a compact flash card, and a hash value is calculated or a digital signature is derived to confirm that the data stored on the compact flash card has not been altered. The wagering game implemented via the loaded software takes various forms in different wagering game machines, including such well-known wagering games as Real Shots, Video Poker, Blackjack, Craps, Roulette, or Hold'em games. The wagering game is placed and controlled with inputs such as various buttons or via a touchscreen overlay to video screen. And some alternate examples, other devices such as a pull arm are used to initiate real spill, slot machines for example. are employed to provide other input interface. They also talk about, let's come down here, let's see. I'm not going to keep reading this whole thing, but basically what it is in the big roundabout thing is anything that we have, anything that you can look at, buy tokens, play any kind of game, they can pick up your biofeedback. Anything that you have to sign into, like if you have to log into something, it can pick up your biofeedback. So just letting you know. And they mentioned way down here too that they had they vary in their themes. It can be a fishing theme, it can be an Old West theme, whatever kind of grabs that player. It says here the change from the biometric average is then used to adjust some parameter of gameplay, such as a change of pace of play, the pace or pitch of music, or the animations presented in the wagering game. They pick up on the biofeedback of the person, whether they need more stimulation or less. So figure 3, 1, 2, 3, what's this? So figure 3, can y'all see that? Oh gosh, let's see. For some reason I can't move it within this. I don't know what I'm doing. Whoops, that's not figure 3. Wager game session initiated. System takes base biometric measurements. System tracks changes in biometric measurements and records average biometric measurements over time. System adjusts presentation of wagering game based on changes in biometric measurements. So infrared temperature sensors, pulse sensors, or blood pressure sensors. Sorry, I just lost my place. I had to sneeze. Blood pressure sensors for reading a game player's biometric information. The seat includes one or more pressures. So like if you go to, what's it called, a casino, if you're sitting there and moving in your seat, it can also pick up on, it says which operations are used to monitor shifting around in the seat during gameplay. So this also talks in the middle of this additional sensors such as Pupil Scanner or infrared camera can be mounted as shown at 306. I guess they have a figure over here. And used to monitor pupil diameter of the game player's eyes to monitor infrared profile of the game player's face. It's anticipated that changes in the game player's interest will be reflected in the biometric measurements taken, such as higher pulse when the game player is excited or lower pulse when the game player becomes bored. Similarly, body temperature and blood pressure are expected to be higher when the game player is excited and lower when the game player is calm. Pupil diameter is known to increase when a person is content or happy and contracts when the person is upset or nervous. Infrared imaging of a game player's face can reveal information regarding the body temperature and blood flow in the game player, where higher perceived body temperature or blood flow indicate dilated blood vessels and higher levels of excitement in the game player. So basically they're reading you like a book. Sorry I'm taking so long to get to this, but this is one of the most important things, and I think that this can go back to somehow being used. Somehow this is going to be used or implemented towards that bill HR 6666, where they can come test you in your home. But this says, the second paragraph down here, certain other factors can influence some biometric measurements, such as a player who has the flu or is drunk. So such players may have elevated body temperature and dilated blood vessels, but have relatively low pulses and blood pressure. Some embodiments of the invention will therefore consider various combinations of biometric parameters, and in still further embodiments can be used to detect unusual or unsafe conditions such as illness or intoxication in game players. because monitoring or tracking such parameters related to potential medical or physical condition may be considered confidential or an intrusion, you think, into the privacy of the game player by some wagering game players. Such information may be limited in the way it's used, such as being provided only to security personnel for purposes of monitoring the game player while in the gaming facility, to ensure the game player's health and safety, right? Or for notifying the wait staff that a player may be intoxicated and should not be served any further alcohol. But in that HR 6666 bill, it also states that they're going to hire people in the neighborhood to monitor people. So if they can patch into your phone and get any of that biofeedback on your phone, what's to say their next move isn't to come knocking on your door and demanding that they test you? So, I mean, if all the other stuff above, getting your heart rate, getting your pupil dilation, your temperature, all that stuff, that's also a violation of your, I would think, of your privacy, because especially since I don't think anyone knows that they've consented to that type of testing or measurements. So this states, in a further embodiment, remember they said above that it's not just for the gaming stuff, it can be used for other applications. And this states, in a further embodiment, biometric measurements that can indicate identity, such as infrared face scans or pupil retina scans, can be used to identify a particular game player. This enables a wagering game system to perform a variety of functions, based on establishing the identity of a player, from eliminating the need for tracking cards to enhancing security. For example, a player having a certain number of credits or dollars in his account can simply sit at a wagering game machine and have his identity confirmed. Hang on, I think I'm buffering. Okay, sorry, I thought I was buffering there. So a player can sit at a wagering game machine and have his identity confirmed through the biometric measurements, eliminating the need to carry or protect a player tracking or player value card. In a further embodiment, additional information such as PIN number will be required as a second form of protection for the player's account, ensuring the security and accuracy of the biometric identification. So, how many of you all have any kind of PIN or code on your phone? So, identifying a game player using biometric identifiers can also be used to identify known cheats, such as those who have previously had their biometric baseline data measured and stored while playing. Remember, this doesn't have to always apply to being in a casino or playing a game. They said that above. There's different embodiments they can use. Let's see, stored, playing, or who have simply been photographed or are otherwise recognizable to the wagering game machine, but who have since been banned or restricted from playing wagering games in a particular gaming establishment. I think this goes out throughout your cities too. It's not just in the casinos or a gaming facility or establishment. Remember in Texas just a couple days ago, didn't that guy, I think it was a sheriff, was talking about some gaming things were closed, but then they were open, and it was kind of a confusion on what really they were meaning by gaming. I think that was somewhere in Texas. So continue, this functionality greatly enhances the gaming facility's ability to monitor the premises for known cheats. I wonder if they can replace that with, you can also, you have the ability to also do facial recognition on known freedom fighters or known First Amendment rights people or known Second Amendment rights people, advocates, using your facial recognition and other biometric identifiers. So, due to both the relatively low cost of incorporating such functionality into machines and the relatively high cost of paying additional security, people who may be more easily fooled or distracted to monitor the gaming establishment. What did I just say there? Whatever, I'm going to go on. Incorporation of this feature into a large percentage of wagering game systems in a gaming establishment therefore makes it significantly less likely that a known cheat will be able to play a wagering game machine undetected in a gaming establishment equipped with biometric sensing and tracking systems such as those described here. How does someone cheat at a casino table, like where you're just punching buttons and pulling down levers, whatever? How are you? This, I think, can be applied to a city where they have people in there that they don't really, in the city, what they would deem as troublemakers, First Amendment people, whatever, freedom fighters. So, anyhow, they go down to figure 4. It talks about storage on hard disk drives, flash memories, all these storage devices they're talking about. So way down here in operation, they're talking about software instructions can load from memory, and other. This says and controls the other peripheral devices such as a touchscreen display, speakers, software. Let's see. Okay, so anyhow, I bet you guys all get the gist of this. So they have these gaming things, which who doesn't have a phone? Who doesn't have a handheld device where they can't grab your facial recognition and you're holding it so they can get your biometrics, the biofeedback, but it says or incorporate as a separate information gathering device as shown at 408. I don't know, I'll have to go down look what that is, but and can be used to measure and track various biometric characteristics of a wagering game player during sessions of game play. With the way these sick elites think, this is a game, and we are the players. So, look at this. The various biometric sensors in this example embodiment are also coupled to the bus, enabling the processor and waging game code to respond to detected biometric data based on the content of the biometric data of the program instructions. The software is thereby able to make various changes in presentation of the wagering game. Yeah, so they can change the game out from under us. Such as increasing, decreasing pace or pitch of music, animation, other aspects of game presentation, or cutting off play for an obviously intoxicated player, or maybe perhaps a player that knows too much. You guys ever had your feeds go dead for any reason? This says, consider as an example the theme-based wagering game using a fishing theme with a presentation that varies according to the biometric feedback. Real symbols including fish, bobbers, boats, fishing rods, and other fishing-related items and are displayed as graphic elements on reels rendered via a touchscreen display. Background animation including a fisher in a boat on a lake, along with frogs, rippling waves, jumping fish, and other animated objects. Background sounds accompanying the frogs, jumping fish, waves, motorized movement of the boat, casting a fishing rod, or other such sounds. Various events or animations such as the boat moving positions on the lake or the fisher casting the line out again are presented between reel spins. along with the animations, including accumulation of fish and qualification for a bonus event. So anyhow, I've scrolled down this and it says that this computer, like when you're playing a game, it can get takes the biofeedback from you, and if it kind of finds that you're a little too excited, it can kind of back off the elements, like make less frogs or less jumping fish. So it says in seagull noises, when the player's biometric characteristics suggest boredom or fatigue, and the same elements may be scaled back when the player is already excited. So do you see how it can just change? It says variation of the frequency or energy presented to a wagering game player is used in a further example to enhance the wagering game player's mood or other physical response through a mood-enhancing module. The mood-enhancing module is in various embodiments designed to enhance the mood, physical well-being, psychological state, or other such mood-related state of the wagering game player. Take out the fact that we even have to be playing a game, you guys. You just have to have your phone. The use of voice supplementing frequencies is believed in some applications to heighten awareness, to promote a feeling of relaxation, to cause others feelings of well-being. So let's go down. Anyhow, they talk about using speakers. Let's see, mathematical. This says fundamental tones. Although frequencies can be produced by sums, products, differences, or other mathematical functions of root tones in further embodiments. In one example, a speaker, such as a speaker that is unable to produce frequencies below 20 Hz, as a pure tone due to its limited frequency response, is able to produce higher frequencies that are a certain frequency apart, such as the beats produced by their difference are under 20 Hz. A 400 Hz tone and a 401 Hz tone, for example, can be easily produced at loud volume by most full-range speakers, but the resulting 1 Hz difference tone cannot. Now, when I scroll down just a little bit down below here, but it says these example frequencies include brainwave frequencies that are associated with various mental states, and which can be employed under the theory that brainwave entrainment can coax brainwaves to a certain frequency and achieve as a result of mental state associated with that frequency. Healing frequencies are employed to address illnesses or to stimulate regions of the systems within the body. Natural phenomena frequencies are frequencies that occur in nature. So they talk about all these periods of resonance, biological, geographical, and planetary cycles. They talk about all these frequencies down here. Delta range. There's one range in here that they talk about the military uses. I think that's theta. I think, anyhow, this is talking about blissful being states such as deep sleep or coma. Coma, like a lot of our little COVID patients probably are being lately. Delta acts as a form of radar. So now they're going into all kinds of frequencies here that they can look. They have a 0.95 is whiplash frequency. Talk about all kinds of frequencies. I'm going to go down, see if I can find that theta. Oh, here it goes. Let's see, 47. Theta ring. Recall, fantasy, imagery, creativity. It talks here about military remote viewers operate in this range, the RVX. It's called hypnopompic and hypnagogic states. Military remote viewers operate in this range. So why are they talking about military remote viewers? Okay, so anyhow, it talks about all these frequencies, you guys. I'll leave you the link for this. You can go look. They talk about the Earth resonance, the Schumann resonance. That's a good the Earth's natural brain wave. If we were at that frequency, 7.83, we would be healthy. So apparently they know about all these hertzes and frequencies and what they do to people. Talk about the nervous system. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm going to scroll way, way, way down, but they talk about, believe me, all these frequencies. Sorry, I don't know how to scroll faster, you guys, but I'll somehow learn the technique that gets me all the way down. So we're looking at all these other publication types of patents. There was one I'd like to go look at. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the it is by Disney. Here's Rothschild, Wayne H. Rothschild gaming machine system having an acoustic sensing mechanism. Gosh, I'll go look at that again. I haven't seen it yet though, but we keep going down here. A lot of these gaming, WMS gaming. So now that they know how to keep you kind of addicted by using certain frequencies, geez, I'm going to go back up and look at that Rothschilds one. There's one other thing though I needed you all to see. We're almost at the end here. Crooked Tree. There's the Disney Enterprises. They have a patent. They have a US, if you want to look it up, US 10394324B2. That's a US patent. It was in 2017, March 13. That's 313. Do you know what that 313 is? In gematria, it's Melinda Gates. That's her. I'm going to look at that. That's her that's one of her numbers. Okay, so that was interesting. The 313. Gosh, this whole time, I don't know if I actually had my speakers on, so I might have to redo this whole thing again. Lucky you guys. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go back up and see that Disney, or here's the Disney. So configuration for adjusting a user experience based on a biological response. I'll go look at that too. Oh, okay, so look, here's some more. Let's see. This is what I thought was interesting though. Hopefully you guys can see the screen, but oh gosh, let me make it bigger. I don't know if I'm making it bigger or not, but this talks about owner game, assignment of interested assigners, Bank of America. Bank of America is the collateral agent, and that's interesting because in that whole stimulus package, or not the stimulus, it was the retirement thing that people were, not retirement, gosh, what's that called? Unemployment insurance. Bank of America was, I don't know if that was considered collateral agent or not, but Hey, they're rearing their ugly little head again. And didn't Bank of America fund the caravan up from South America along with George Soros? So that's kind of interesting. But again, down here, owner is a Dutch bank trust company as collateral agent. Now, what would they be interested in? Well, the mind control stuff. So it's kind of interesting. You got some big players here. I'm gonna, let's see. I just hope that this is recording the right page too. So yeah, I just checked the 313 in the gematria, and 313 is Melinda A. Gates. Her numbers are 313, 666, and 111. I just found that a little interesting. Same as that Disney. The Disney opened that, had that patent on March 13th. So I thought that was interesting. Look at this though. So if we don't come back to this, because I won't be able to find my way back, I just wanted to show you guys about that gaming patent that takes our biofeedback, sends it to who knows where, to enhance your experience. But here's Rothschild's Wayne H. Gaming machine systems having an acoustic sensing mechanism. I'm going to open that. We're going to go down this little rabbit hole. I don't know if I'll be able to get back. Oh, that's kind of, let's see. What is that fishing? Oh, reel 'em in. Oh, reel 'em in. That's another fishing. Cast for cash. Is that what that says? What's that say? Let's see. Whoops. I don't know why I can never get this to work inside this, but why would Rothschilds be interested in oh, it's a person. You get to cast your little fishing thing. So this is kind of under inventor Wayne Rothschild. Gaming machine system having an acoustic sensing mechanism. Now this is the first time I've seen this, so they're assigned to WMS Gaming also, so that's interesting. So he's assigned to the same old, well, it's probably under the same patent or something. Abstracted gaming machine has a processor for conducting a wagering game on the game machine. Acoustic sensing mechanism, having at least one microphone that converts acoustic signals to audio signals. The acoustic sensing mechanism can be used for providing various inputs, including the selection of certain options during operations of the game. Acoustic sensing mechanism may further distinguish between first acoustic input, indicative of first player input, and second. That's not very exciting. So I'm going to go take a little look here. Okay, so we're going to go look at this. I don't know why that Rothschild had his name on this, but he did. Wayne Rothschild and Thomas Copera. Let's see. Interesting. Look at that little, you can't see it because I don't know how to move this thing around, but you've got a little wand, a guy with a little rabbit hat, magician, Oh, is that my alley? Look, he's got a crop in his hand. Wow. You can't see it. You see that crop right here? The crop to whip the horse with? Interesting. He doesn't even look like he's having fun. Let's see next. So touch screen. This is all the little mind control stuff. What's this about? I don't know what that's going to indicate. Oh, look at that. All his little buddies going fishing. Wonder what they're fishing for. Here, fishy. Looks like a barracuda. Alright, so, poor bunny. Okay, so sorry you guys. Something happened. I just had to back out real quick from that Rothschild patent, but we saw a lot of that. Here's Microsoft. Let's go here. Pedometer for the brain. Let's see. Okay, scroll down just a little bit. I don't have a visual. I don't know why it says visual, but this says Figure 2 provides further illustration. Illustrative pedometer component in accordance with the aspect of the claimed subject matter. As illustrated pedometer component can actively or passively acquire or access input. So passively or actively. For example, input from sensors and, oh sorry, the dogs are barking because the chickens are talking. But interface component, let's see, can act as input health-related and or health-related records from health manager via interface component. You know what? I think that he actually abandoned this. He abandoned this one, but gosh. Yeah, this looks interesting too. It's the same. Additionally, sensors can be radio frequency identification, RFID devices, or can incorporate or subsume radio frequency identification, so RFID devices. For example, sensors can be a wristband that has embedded therein a radio frequency identification tag or chip that can continuously obtain information, e.g. electrical impulses from the brain, blood pressure, body temp, perspiration, pupil dilation, heart rate, location information from global positioning systems from the wearer of the wristband. Y'all heard of that Fitbit and all those other kind of health devices? Additionally, sensors can be implemented entirely in hardware and or a combination of hardware and software in execution. Execution, you're not kidding, execution. Further, sensors can be any type of mechanism, machine, device, facility, and or instrument that includes a processor and is capable of effective and or operative communication with network topology, like an apology, like he owes us, and or cloud, illustrative mechanism, machine, devices, facilities, instruments of conversion that can comprise sensors that can include tablet, PCs, server class computing machines, laptop computers. I mean, we just saw in the last one that Microsoft, it's part of that. The Windows does the mind control stuff, the frequencies, right? Notebook computers, desktop computers, cell phones, smartphones, consumer appliances and or instrumentation, industrial devices and or components, handheld devices, personal digital assistants, multimedia internet enabled phones, globally global positioning systems, GPS, USB flash devices, multimedia players, and the like. So little illustrative pedometer component. Gosh, health is a health manager. This is analysis component can utilize inputs such as health records from health manager and information gleaned from sensors to ascertain brain activity, monitor the health of the brain, ensures that all parts of the brain are being utilized on a regular basis. I mean, what's it to him? Who's he to say? What if we want to just turn off our brains, which unfortunately so many of us have done in this world, but maybe it's time to wake up. Further analysis component can keep track of brain activity and or sensations experienced by the individual when exposed to different stimuli. Additionally, positive reactions and or graded aversions to selected stimuli can be noted and or recorded by analysis. I'm buffering here, so let's see, sorry about that. I think I was buffering. Or recorded by analysis component, keeping track of or recording brain activity and or sensations experienced in response to stimuli can be beneficially employed to provide feedback to the individual when tasks are assigned by the claimed subject matter in order to target selected response centers of the brain. God, they're so just want to control everything. Wow. I'm going to leave this whole patent also, but it says, moreover, analysis component can continuously record sources of stimuli. We just saw that in the last patent I was reading. It can record all your biofeedback from ambient monitors, sensors associated with or dispersed around the individual. Kind of like Siri, you know. I don't know who owns that patent, but analysis component through elicited or received inputs, e.g. health records, sensor input, etc. Can also investigate how much time the individual dwells on a particular sensation or thought, e.g. wow, that's incessantly dwelling on particular thoughts and or sensations can be indication of depression or some other brain abnormality. Maybe people are just thinking through, like, how do we get out of this wreck of a government? And who the heck is this Gates guy, you know, telling everyone what to do and trying to force a vaccine? I mean, what's wrong with thinking about that? Trying to get our way out of it. Formulated output from analysis component in the form of feedback can be utilized to enhance electronic gaming activities, whereas the feedback can inform electronic game. The feedback can inform the electronic game so that the game characteristics, including attributes associated with a particular game character, remember we just read all about that in that last patent, 2 patents ago, can be dynamically shifted or changed based at least in part of the level of, so you can basically be manipulated. Activity or inactivity detected by claimed subject matter, and in particular pedometer, isn't that just walking? Figure 3 provides, where are these figures? I don't know where, let's see, I don't know why I haven't been able to see the picture. Here we go. Remember those frequencies, you guys, the Department of Defense put out that the effects of electromagnetic radiation, and I told you, or it said in the report, that EMFs can flatten the EEG, that's your brain wave, flatten your EEG. This talks about whatever this illustration is, we'll have to go look for it, but can include monitor component that monitors brain activity via input from sensors and utilization of health records. Previous baseline electroencephalography. Wait, I'm saying that wrong. Electroencephalography, EEG. So he wants to obtain from health managers. So they want to get your information when they are knocking at your door. They can just download your information. Such input can be utilized to ensure that an individual's brain in its entirety is being utilized on a regular basis. So you have to be thinking, oh my gosh, so many of my friends and family are going to be upset that they're going to have to actually think. Moreover, monitor component can be utilized to monitor the health of the brain by ensuring that the individual is not dwelling on particularly negative or morbid thoughts. I mean, how difficult is it not to when you've got our psycho government allowing private entities who are hell-bent on depopulation? How do you not dwell on a negative or morbid thought? Indication of in which so now they're going to probably pull you in and arrest you if you're depressed because your government's like acting in treasonous ways. In which case the subject matter as claimed can be used to shift the individual's focus away from the detected thoughts or more pleasant endeavors. Oh, so let's just all go to catching butterflies and stuff. Let's see. Wow. Anyhow, yeah, they got all the biofeedback monitoring, but remember down here, I mean, it did say that this was abandoned, but it's probably abandoned because they've already have a he probably just bought the patent just like he bought the virus. So maybe he didn't have to pursue it. You know, maybe he didn't have to do all the work. Oh my gosh, they're so hell-bent. If you read through this, they're so hell-bent on controlling your thoughts. Make sure you're happy. You know. Let's see. I'm scrolling all the way down here. We're gonna see if. Sorry guys, I don't know how to do this faster. Someone might want to tell me how to do this faster. Self-tracking cultures, translating artificial intelligence. There's that AI. Ooh, translating artificial intelligence into clinical care. Mobile health. Wow. Mobile health. I wonder if that has anything to do with that HR 6666, where they can just come knock on your door. Wow, craving Facebook, behavioral addiction to online social networking, its association with emotional regulation. Anyhow, here's all kinds of patents that you guys can look for. I want to go look at this mobile health. Similar documents. This is just a snippet, it looks like. So this is mobile health has been receiving a lot of attention from patients, healthcare professionals, application developers, network service providers, and researchers. Oh, they didn't mention government. Mobile health is more than just some healthcare applications on a mobile phone, and it can involve sensors and... Hang on, I'm going to go get the rest of the story. Okay, sorry you guys, that mobile health thing that it went to another, I took it to another website, but it was really dark, so I couldn't read the type, but so I just wanted to show one more, and I'll get out of here, but here's another one. Game score evaluation and game control system on the basis of a player's physical values. So I wanted to show you something I thought was kind of interesting. This is a U.S. application, 1992. Let's see. Application filed by Hofer Jorgen. I don't know if that's Swedish or Swiss, whatever that is. I don't know that name. Jorgen Hofer. Inventor, they're spelled different right here. Look at how that's spelled different. Juergen and then Jurgen. Huh. So they're spelled differently, but so I just thought this was interesting. Look at this. See this? See this little mask? Why would you wear a mask when you're playing a game? I wonder if they're trying to... Oh, sorry. I wonder if they're trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do, but here's another little game console. See, it's almost like they're got masks on everybody, and people are all holding their phones and handheld devices. I wonder if they're somehow taking their biometrics without them knowing it again. A skill testing entertainment game equipment operating the user's physical values. I wonder for non-invasive measuring physical values of a user. Why you're playing a game? That's just weird to me. Well, okay, so this just says the system for the control of game, entertainment, and skill testing equipment operating of the basis of players' physical values, said control system comprising measuring means of non-invasive measuring of physical values of a player completely painless and bloodless. That seems so unlike them. And without the necessity of a surgical treatment. Arranging to transmit measured physical values to controlling means a computer unit arranged to receive the physical values of a player measured by said measuring means, and also to receive the normal game score of game entertainment, skill testing equipment. It's just weird. But anyhow, they're wearing a mask. So this talks about the background of the invention. The present invention relates to an electronic or electromechanical skill testing entertainment or game equipment, such as, for instance, video game, pinball machines, skill testing games. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. It is known to measure non-invasively some physical values of users. For example, a non-invasive measurement of blood gas values, such as blood oxygen value or blood carbon dioxide value, can be performed by an electrochemical sensor. Do any of you guys think that with all that mask wearing, oh, sorry, the dog's loud, but all that mask wearing, are they somehow measuring the blood gas values and blood oxygen value or blood? Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. The dogs are going crazy. I don't know. Look at this, is just weird. They're so into monitoring. They have to know your thoughts. They have to know your blood oxygen, your blood carbon dioxide by a photometric sensor. Oh. I wonder if they can read that stuff with all those LED lights, or somehow. I wonder how their photometric sensor. I wonder if those LED lights they're putting all over can somehow ascertain. This sensor emits light with different wavelengths. The light penetrates blood and tissue and is partly absorbed and modulated dependent on the degree of saturation of the blood and blood gases. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. The modulated light is received by the detector of the sensor, which measures the blood gas value with a measuring instrument evaluating the extent of the modulation and wired with the sensor. Also, so-called oximeter sensors maybe we can look that up, can take measurements of both blood oxygen and pulse rate values at the same time by a photoelectric method. Any of you guys think that LED light's a photoelectric method? Remember that guy that took it apart and how it looked really a lot more intense and complicated and with a bigger motherboard than just some LED light should have? Let's look at that. Photoelectric method. So remember, oximeter sensors. Furthermore, a large number of measuring means are known and mentioned in the following, which enables non-invasive measuring physical values of a user completely painless and bloodless and without the necessity of a surgical treatment. Why? I mean, why would you have to have a surgical treatment if you're just walking along? Furthermore, biofeedback, they love that biofeedback devices are known, which have stimulus generating means for applying some physical or chemical stimulus to an individual's body. Let's back that up. Furthermore, biofeedback devices are known, which have stimulus generating means for applying some physical or chemical stimulus to an individual's body and means for measuring the reaction from the individual's body in response to said stimulus. So they're known. These devices are known. The above-mentioned methods have been almost exclusively used in intensive care units and other situations for medical diagnostics and the like. Okay. This says summary of invention. Skipping down here, talking about skill testing, entertainment. So why would you, if you're so interested in being entertained, would you need surgery, or vice versa? The use of such procedure and equipment can be, above all, but not exclusively, for the purpose of entertainment and amusement to the public. I love those open-ended things. It could be used for this, but we also want to use it for something else, just like in that HR bill that was passed, 6666. They mention not exclusively. They open-end their little comments. Oh my goodness. So they just keep mentioning this. So in keeping these objects and with others which will become apparent hereinafter, one feature of the present invention resides, briefly stated, in a skill testing, entertainment, or game equipment operating on the basis of users' physical values, which has measuring means in current use for non-invasive measuring physical values of a user completely painless and bloodless. It almost is like the Hunger Games, or that hunting thing where they're going to go have people running with their mask on, and they can measure their oxygen and carbon dioxide input and output. What the heck is this about? And user completely painless and bloodless. Yeah, until we catch you and do what we want with you. Till we guillotine you. And without the necessity of surgical treatment. I mean, do you see how they're mentioning skill testing and entertainment, and in the same sentence they mention without bloodless and painless, without the necessity of surgical treatment? Operating, or for example, on the basis of electrochemical or photoelectric or ultrasonic measurements, or on the basis of measuring an electric current or the electric resistance of the temperature of the skin or the skin moisture or muscle activities of a user, or on the basis of measuring the content of alcohol or any. Now, why would you be drinking alcohol if you're going to go in for surgery? Or why would you be going for surgery if you're entertaining yourself? Or these just don't seem to mix. Are any gases in the exhaled breath of a user? A computer unit arranged to receive the normal score of the physical values of a user measure, and they're so hell-bent on knowing your physical scores, measured by said measuring means, and also to receive multiplication factors for certain physical values and means for displaying scores, such as for instance an electromechanical or electronic display, like a display like in the Hunger Games when all the elites could look at that big board, for the display of certain evaluated scores as detailed in the following embodiment. This is really disturbing. I should just stop here and make a whole nother video with just this. Let me look more into it. Actually, that's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm going to look more into this, and I'll come back and make a cleaned up version that's not so haphazard. Wow. This is, let me read it off to you though. This is patent US 5318295A. So US, it's a Google patent. US, well, it's a US patent. US 5318295A. And it's game score evaluation and game control system on the basis of players' physical values. And remember, it's bloodless and painless. It's weird. Anyhow, this is, I've gone way too long. Sorry, you guys. I'll come back and look at this and have a little bit more of a condensed version, a little bit more organized. I'm just sort of off the cuff here. So, all right. You guys be good. We'll talk to you later.